Here we go again, Championship round 17 this weekend. Let's predict the outcome of each and every game. You know the deal here. Get involved with your predictions in the comments. No Friday night game means your deadline, should you choose to accept it, is 12:30 on Saturday. Find out how I got on with my midweek predictions at the end of the show. QPR versus Wigan. Lovely quiet week over at QPR, wasn't it? They went top after beating Cardiff, and then Mick Beale pledged his future to the club following big noise and interest from Wolves. Yes, it's an oddly slow pace at the top of the table, but 7 wins in 10 is a superb run for Rangers. Wigan, they were my go-to shout for a good away team, but they've lost the last 2 on the road and 5 of their last 7 anywhere. Home! Blackburn versus Birmingham. Blackburn went top briefly of the Championship on Tuesday after their second straight win, finally breaking that long win-lose streak. See, I've still found a way of talking about it. Definitely, though, good momentum now at Rovers. Ben Brereton Diaz is heading towards last season's form. He's tied at the top of that golden boot list. Problem here, though, is that Birmingham are good, surprisingly good, actually. They've only lost 1 in 8, conceded just 5 goals in the process. I've got Rovers favourites, but I don't actually see Birmingham losing this one. Draw! Sunderland versus Burnley. Burnley slipped back into the old habit, 1-1 draw in midweek, but they are now 13-1-3 undefeated in all competitions. Just 1 win in 6 in contrast for strikerless Sunderland as Tony Mowbray tries to get his feet properly under the table at the Stadium of Light. If the Mackems had either of their strikers fit, I'd be very tempted by the draw, but I think that absence means I'm going to go with Burnley not only extending their undefeated run, but getting the win. Away! There is the top 3 done. Help me out. Hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the show as we move on to Sheffield United versus Norwich. Now, I wrongly had this one down about a month ago as a big title winner indicator. Not quite like that anymore, is it? With both sides falling out of that top 2. Blades, no win in 5. Norwich, 1 win in 6. 3 straight defeats for the Canaries. Blades fans will point the finger at injuries and suspensions. Norwich fans seem to be pointing the finger squarely at boss Dean Smith. With both sides not quite themselves at the moment, I'll go all square. Draw! Watford versus Luton. Cool, I feel like I should roll my sleeves up for this one. The M1 derby on Sunday, and it comes at a very good time for Luton and a very bad time for Watford. Since that poor start, the Hatters have hit 2 points per game from their last 11, while Watford have changed managers and won just 3 in 13 in all competitions. The loss of Loser is another Hornets problem. Lots on Sarr, I think. All the trends have Luton as favourites, but come on, I've seen many derby games before. They can be very tense affairs. Draw! Swansea versus Cardiff. Speaking of grudge matches, welcome to Wales for another one. Don't get too distracted by that thrashing at Burnley that Swansea experienced. They are in superb form and the best side in the division over an 8-game sample size. I thought Cardiff were really unlucky with that red card at QPR, to be honest. But back-to-back defeats it is. This feels like a very big game, very early on for Cardiff boss Mark Hudson. So I'm going to back the Swans to keep their good run going. Home! Oh yes, weekend predictions means fantasy football with BetMate. Once again, I'm in the Championship 3 p.m. pot, and this is my team. I'm all in on Middlesbrough and QPR with Stefan and Laird in my back line. Need some clean sheets, guys, please. Chair and Jones I've gone for in midfield. They were both in good form in midweek. I'll stick with BBD up top, plus Semenyo, as Bristol City are a bit of a goal machine, aren't they? I've got Jed Wallace on the bench as he returns to Millwall. You tell me, should I put him in? Get over to BetMate to take me on and win your share of the spoils. Follow the link down in the description for what we hope is some low-cost, good, fun gameplay. And how about this? Use the code Bloom5 when you play and they will give you a free £5 entry to a pot of your choice. Millwall versus West Brom. Before you ask, Jed Wallace is priced up at 15-4 as an anytime goal scorer in this one. Although, I suspect Millwall fans are far less worried about the return of their former talisman after change of system, 3 straight wins, and Fleming and Bradshaw doing what Wallace used to. West Brom still don't have a manager appointed at time of recording. The old mythical bounce lasted just 1 game for the Baggies, and I think the Lions might be able to take advantage. Home! Blackpool versus Preston. What, another derby game? You got it. Here comes another of our Northwest mini-series. It's not that mini, it's just loads of games up there. This one is a tough one to call. Blackpool stuttered, lost to Hull in midweek after they impressed against 2 parachute teams. How about that? Preston got this crazy clean sheet record, but 3 wins, 3 losses and 2 draws shows that they're pretty inconsistent at the moment. Blackpool do have goal power, but is it enough? I'm talking myself into everything levelling itself out here. Draw! Reading versus Bristol City. Here comes the early season surprise package Reading against the Championship's unpredictability kings, Bristol City. So Reading, 3 straight defeats after they'd scored 10 points in 5. Bristol City, the other way around, 2 wins in 3 after no wins in 5. The short-term form then is pointed towards Bristol City, although Reading are good at home, but then again they lost last time out there. Look, let's go for lots of goals with Zhao, Maite, Semenyo and Wells likely involved some way, shape or form. And Bristol City to nick it. Away! Poetry time, everybody. 25,000 in the tribe. So ring the bell and hit subscribe. Let's stick to the football. On we go to Rotherham versus Hull. Could we be on for a triple Rotherham win within the week, hey? Huddersfield and Stoke already beaten. I'd have backed them fairly strongly prior to Hull's great win at Blackpool in midweek. So the seed of doubt, as ever, is well and truly in my head. Hull are still a bit of a managerless mess in general, but they're surely going to have a bit of confidence now after the win at Blackpool. If I factor in Rotherham's home record and momentum and the fact it would be a good story, I do think the 3rd win is a possibility. So go on then. Home! Stoke versus Coventry. I saw Coventry in the flesh in midweek. They've gone a bit more solid than we're used to, but it's working. The results are good. 1 defeat in 7 for the Sky Blues. Stoke had one of those days against Rotherham where they went behind early, and despite trying every possible method, they weren't able to get that ball in the back of the net. I'll probably be wrong, but this screams 2 managers needing, for different circumstances, to be more conservative than they'd like to. So I think we get a low-scoring draw. Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield. Possible, finally, light at the end of the tunnel for Middlesbrough. Now, new regime coming and a morale-boosting win at Wigan in midweek. One more game we hear in the dugout for Leo Perkovic, and it's a battle of, let's say, 2 of the more extroverted and eccentric bosses in the division. Again, I can't take my ears off Mark Fotheringham, but for all the talk, it is back-to-back defeats. And I think home advantage, optimistic mood might just carry Borough through this one. Home! Right, that is this round done. How did I do last time? Very frustrating. 4 outcomes bang on. 5 out by 1, which means 3 totally the wrong way around. So congratulations. Welcome to the Curveball Club. Rotherham, Bristol City and Hull. Well played, guys. I backed all those sides to lose and they won. Get your predictions in via the comments. I'm going to play teacher now. I'm going to start giving out emojis because the comments are getting more and more absurd by the week. So you can earn yourself a lion if you're nice and brave and get your forecasts in ahead of all the games. I'm sorry, you're going to get a mouse if you're wise after the event. Get those comments in the review show. Get your predictions in this one. And I'm unleashing it. I'm doing it, guys. The clown is coming out. That is for anyone who thinks that my predictions literally cause the opposite result for their team. The moral of the story, don't be a clown or a mouse. Be a lion. And I went into the lion's den this week. Now, that doesn't really work. I went to Coventry, okay? Everyone was very nice, actually. So check out my vlog up here to see what went down between the Sky Blues and Sheffield United.